Hello, and thank you for joining us today in our study of the book of Psalms. Today we're in Psalm 146. And as we come into this psalm, unlike many of the ones that we've gone through recently, this one is not officially attributed to David, though many think that David is the author of it, but it simply doesn't say, so we do not know. But here in Psalm 146, we have a question about where do we place our trust? Let's see what the psalmist says. Beginning in verse 1, we read, Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, O my soul. While I live, I will praise the Lord. I will sing praises to my God while I have my being. Do not put your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His spirit departs, he returns to his earth. In that very day his plans perish. Happy is he who has the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God, who made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, who keeps truth forever, who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry. The Lord gives freedom to the prisoners. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord raises those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous. The Lord watches over the strangers. He relieves the fatherless and widow, but the way of the wicked he turns upside down. The Lord shall reign forever. Your God, O Zion, to all generations. Praise the Lord. As you look at Psalm 146, there's a couple of different things that you want to notice as you go through the psalm. The first one is the emphasis on where not to place your trust. In verses 3 and 4, the psalmist says, Do not put your trust in princes, nor in a son of man, in whom there is no help. In other words, don't put your trust in men. And even more specifically, he says, don't put your trust in princes or government officials. Don't put your trust in people in power and authority as though they're the ones who are going to be your salvation. They're the ones that are going to be your help. And the reason why is found in verse 4. It's not to say that all men are bad or that nobody's ever going to do what they say they're going to do. But here's the point. In verse 4, he says, His spirit departs, he returns to his earth. In that very day, his plans perish. He's going to die. And in the day that he dies, everything that he intended to do, everything that he was going to do or that he was going to try to do, is no longer able to be done. Now, somebody else could pick it up and continue on with that particular endeavor, but you know what's going to happen? That's right. They're going to die eventually as well. And so we don't put our trust in men. We don't put our absolute confidence in men, that men are going to automatically fix things or that they are going to be the ones to carry us into whatever it is we're trying to get to, because eventually they're going to die. And all of the endeavors that they were undertaken will either be left to somebody else or will be dropped wherever they are. Solomon would write in the book of Ecclesiastes about the fact that death comes to all men, and when an individual dies, everything that he has gets left to somebody else, and everything that he's done is often forgotten because people simply move on to the next generation. And so you have this statement in Psalm 146, not to put our trust in princes. So where should we put our trust? We put it in God. Beginning in verse 5, he says, Happy is he who has the God of Jacob for his help. And then he talks about all of the different things that God has done for people and that God does for individuals who are seeking him and who are serving him. But then there's the statement that's made at the end of the psalm in verse 10. The Lord shall reign forever. This is a contrast to the things of men. When we put our trust in men, when we look to governing officials, when we look to one particular individual to be the one to lead us through this particular time, their time is eventually going to run out. The Lord's does not. The Lord shall reign forever. your God, O Zion, to all generations. He is not going to change. He is not going away. He is not going to leave, but rather God will always be there, and He will be the stable, steadying, guiding force that can keep everything moving in the right direction. These are the things that I see in Psalm 146. I hope that they're beneficial to you, and I hope that they bless you today. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope that you'll continue watching our series as we finish up the Psalms over the next several lessons. Next time we'll come back and we'll look at Psalm 147. I hope that you'll join us then. But until then, have a great day.